Well, hello there. Carol Dockum here with Beautiful Faces Going Places Women's Success Network. And I am so excited to continue with our Business Spotlight series. We are here today with our very special guest, Pamela Cohn. She is the founder and CEO of Curated Spaces, LLC. Now, Pamela Cohn, she wholeheartedly believes being called to the ministry is the reason why she was born. She is extremely humbled by his God-given assignment to feed his sheep. She is married to Elder Stephen Cohn, who she works alongside as his assistant pastor at the Dominion CLGI located in Dayton, Ohio. She is the mother of 3 beautiful children and the Mimi to 2 grandchildren. She has been in ministry for over 25 years. She is the founder and CEO of Curated Spaces and is actively engaged in her community as well as in women's ministry. Pamela has an undergraduate's degree in communication studies as well as African American studies and an associate's degree in interior design, which is where I believe she gets her class in style from. So welcome, Pamela. I am so happy to have you here today to share your entrepreneurial journey with us and also to share really what is going on with Curated Spaces, LLC. And you've got some amazing announcements to share with us.
Thank you so much, Carol, for having me today. I just really appreciate your support, and I love all that you do and your energy, and I love how you support women through your Beautiful Faces Going Places. I think that is just amazing. You're very unselfish in your support for women in business.
Well, thank you. And I feel the same about you, my friend. I would love for us to share how you and I became connected
Yes.
and really talk a little bit about how we met and the fabulous event that we co-hosted together to support women in business and entrepreneurs, really not only regionally, but also nationally and globally.
Absolutely. Well, outside of Curated Spaces LLC, I am the director for ABH Accelerators Dayton, and we are an accelerator focused on helping women in business. We help them anywhere from the ideation phase all the way to the exit phase of their company. So that's all women across every industry at any level. And so I love that work. It totally aligns with who I am and my values, and I'm so grateful to support women. And I'm so grateful to support them in that space. So I've been doing that for about a year, maybe about 14 months. We launched at the onset of the pandemic, and I was reaching out to women who had shared passion to help me with that. And so you were, I think we had an e-introduction, but I had already noticed you already. And so I just believe you came to me just at the right time when I was wanting to develop what we call our Grow Workshop series, our Grow Workshops, but I had to make it into a series. That's just how my mind works. And so we knew, both of us recognized that during 2020 and the pandemic and women doing business, people in general, learning how to do business and be successful during all of the pivoting and all that they had to do. And honestly, I said, we're just throwing around this language pivot, but where do I pivot? Do I pivot left? Do I pivot right? I mean, really. So we came together and we collaborated on bringing a Grow Workshop series.
I know it was a fabulous event too. I am just so honored to have had the opportunity to really create, I'm going to say curate, because that's your word. Curate
Curated, yes.
a phenomenal week, right? It was a phenomenal week to really support small business owners and entrepreneurs, bringing them, the experts and speakers and trainers, and then your Grow Workshop series.
It was about 4 weeks that we did that. And then it was to prepare business owners to give them a strategy for 2021 and beyond. And the feedback we received was so amazing. So hopefully everyone, Carol and I will partner again. ABH Accelerators Dayton and Beautiful Faces Going Places will partner again and bring another phenomenal way to support women. I'm right now, ABH's Accelerators Dayton is in downtown Dayton. We've moved to our new office location. And so this was what I call my she shed for and that's where we would do all of our meetings. Now I have curated for Curated Spaces. So I'm
Yes.
downtown at the arcade. So you
Awesome.
guys come see me. If you need any support, uh, make an appointment to come down. It's a beautiful space. We can arrange a tour for you. So I love that work as well. So I'm just so blessed to have, to be a space in my life that what I do, I actually love.
I know, and it shines through, Pamela. It truly does,
Thank
which
you.
is why really what is leading us to this special business spotlight today, because it was through our working together last year that you shared with me a vision that you had and an inspiration, because I truly believe you are an entrepreneur at heart. And
Yeah.
you have a heart of gold, and you are meant to serve in so many ways. So please tell us about your vision, and how did your vision and inspiration come to you, and then look at where you are today. So this is like 6 months ago you shared your vision,
Yes.
and now you've officially launched, and I am inviting you to share that with the world.
Thank you so much, Carol. So I would say about maybe a year and a half ago, the Lord put in my mind, and I'm going to say that. And so she's fully disclosed, I'm a minister. So I may say the Holy Spirit, I may say the Lord, I may even say hallelujah. So about a year and a half ago, the words came to me, Curated Spaces. And so I immediately made it an LLC. I immediately put it down on paper. I didn't know what else was going to come next. And so during the pandemic, I took a lot of time. Everything slowed down. We weren't going as much. And I had a lot of time to um, read my word. I had a lot of time to have time to myself, self-reflection. So one morning I was in my private reading time, and I can't recall if I was preparing for a sermon or a Bible study, or if I was doing my own personal notes. But I usually start off, I had a blank journal, and I would write the date, I would write the scriptures down, or I would write the thought I had, I would write if it was personal study. I had a whole process. And then I started getting irritated. I said, why don't they have a journal that already has this down? I have to write this down every time. Then the thought came into my mind, why don't you make it?
Wow.
And I just thought, I said, Lord, is that you? I said, like, wait a minute, where'd that come from? And I jumped up and I went and I spoke to my husband. So, this thought came to me. And he said, I think that's a good idea. Now, you're right. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. My father was an entrepreneur. We can go all the way back in my generations when we had business owners way before people in our background had businesses. And so it's in my blood. And so I've had many ideas that he's like, oh, no, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But when he said that was a good idea, I said, oh, I might be onto something, you
Yes.
know. And
Yes, I
so,
do.
yes, and so I began to bring it up to people I trusted. I trusted their thoughts and their opinions, and that was you. Carolyn Russ was another one. And then I reached out to my financial advisor. I said, okay, I have this idea, what do you think about it? And he gave me some input about it. And so then I asked the Lord, I said, bring it to me. Bring it to me. What is the format? And so after I made the decision that I was going to do so, and I also at this time was hosting an Explore cohort for ABH that teaches you how to go from the idea to a business plan. Okay, so that was working to my advantage because I was getting the first hand.
That's
Uh,
right.
and I told the ladies in the cohort, I'm learning right along with you. I'm
Yes.
going on this journey right along with you. We had 9 women last fall. And so I begin to get the idea. I begin to start making drafts. And then I begin to sell it to people, that I wanted to help advise me. So I made myself a little advisory team. I had my daughter, my son's girlfriend, and his friend who's a graphic designer, and my husband. And I was going to just bring to them these ideas. And so I found me a publishing company. I searched for people to publish me. Let me tell you, don't nobody want to publish you if they not have heard of you,
Right.
And so if no one knows you, if you don't have millions and millions of
Yes.
followers on Twitter and Instagram, no one's looking for you to publish you, right? So I had to self-publish. And so I found a publishing company, Alpha Publishing Company. And I didn't want to search the whole internet. I asked the guy, because I used to be in sales, I asked the guy, I said, I'm gonna tell you what I want. And if you can meet all of the things that I'm asking you for, then I will go with your company, right? And so every box he checked off on my list, we can do that, we can offer that, we can do this. I said, okay, now how much is it gonna cost me? And so he gave me the price, which was in the range that I could afford to have startup funds for to bring this project to fruition. And so I was like, wow, I just hired a publishing company. You know, I have an advisory team. I think this thing is a go. You know, this it
Yes.
might work for me. And I had it, and it's a process. I want to tell everyone, be patient. I'm not a very patient person. I'm going to say, yes, patience is a virtue that Pam does not have. And so I remember asking my financial advisor, his name is Kenneth Wilson. I began to ask him, I said, when do you think I should launch? This is an annual thing. He said, you launch when it's right. So every time the publishing company had a delay, every time they had a delay, they lost employees because of COVID, things of that nature. Every time there was a hiccup, I would remember that when it's right, when it's right. And so, and that meant sometimes I would be disappointed,
Mhm.
push back, what have you. Um, but it was nothing like having it right. It was nothing like having your vision actually come to fruition. And
Yeah.
so, and I remember the day that the whole process of design, like you said, I'm an interior designer, so it was my baby from beginning to end. And I even, to promote myself again, because I've been ministering for 25 years. Let me say that, but not known. I'm happy to minister in our local church, within our church organization, Church of the Living God. I'm happy. My husband, I'm to minister alongside Stephen. I'm just happy to do that. And in our church, they call you the first lady. And, you know, that's another conversation. You know, you really could just call me Pamela. So, but I was happy to do that. But I knew in order to sell journals to the world, I needed to be known. So I started a podcast, Curated Conversations with Pamela Cohn. And it is rooted in faith, but there's conversations that we should have that I deem that are important, and it's really resonating with people. And so I use Jerisha Moore's Envision Broadcasting Radio. And can you believe my podcast is in 120 countries?
That is fantastic.
And the day I found it on the day I found it on Amazon, I was like, I'm on Amazon. You know, that really just blew my mind. Spotify, all these, Alexa, play it. And so it's Monday, every Monday morning at 8 a.m. So I'm having a ball with that. But that's for people to kind of get my face out there. But the meat of what I wanted to bring, I so enjoy ministering. And I knew I was called to preach. I want to say 9, 10, but there were no women in my area that ministered. And the ones that did, when I got a little older, they were ridiculed. I grew up in a little town in Arkansas, Blytheville, Arkansas. And so they would come, I grew up next to my church. They would come and they would get ridiculed. I said, I ain't gonna be looking like that. I knew it. I knew it in my heart, Carol, that I was called to preach. I wanted to sing. I cannot sing. Believe me, I can't. And so,
Well, you can definitely preach, and
yes,
you are an excellent speaker and presenter.
so
And
I got
yes,
over that. I got over that of not being able to sing. So when I was about 17, uh, I heard the Lord again say, brought someone to me. She was a white Methodist minister, brought her to me, and I said, no, I will not do that. But by the time, fast forward, I was 25, I got my license as a minister. So I'm 50 now. This is my 25th year in ministry. So, and my heart and passion is to help other ministers be able to be successful in this space. So my first journal is Curated Spiritual Content. So this journal helps you be able to write out your sermon, to know how to determine your text, to do your hermeneutical background. Each journal comes with a guide to help you be able to understand how to do that. Is your self-reflection, is your commitment to what you've studied, because you have to study. The word says to rightfully divide the word of truth. My workman need not be ashamed, but you need to be prepared. So when you're called upon, is nothing worse than to get called upon and you're not prepared, and you don't want to teach anything in error. So this is what this one is about. It's called Curated Spiritual Content. And then the second one is Curated Spiritual Growth. Now, this is important to me. And this is my favorite thing to do, is read in the morning, is read my Bible, have a cup of coffee. So that's why that cover looks like that.
Beautiful.
So thank you. And this one is what you've received. You're the hearer. And you're maybe you're in church or in a Bible study. There's place in there for you to have your takeaways. Because do you know, once you receive information, if you do not go back and review it, you lose it in 72 hours. You use 75% in 72 hours, right? So you could have had this heard this dynamic sermon on Sunday morning. By Wednesday, if you have not gone back and recorded your takeaways or reflected on that word, you'll lose it. Wow, can you imagine?
I truly, truly believe that as well. Yes.
So this is what this is for. And at the end of each month, and at the end of each quarter, and at the end of the year, it's an annual journal. You'll be able to see how you have grown spiritually, and both as a preacher, as a presenter, and as the hearer. And so both of these are sacred to me. Both of these mean so much to me. I love being able to say I'm a minister and I share the word of God. That's one of the most important things in my life. And I also love my relationship that I have cultivated and curated, I believe, with the Lord. And so both of these are great. But let me tell you, Carol, when I saw these on Amazon, I got so excited, all the blood rushed to my head. So I was like, oh my God. And the day she told me they were actually completed, I literally stood in the kitchen and just cried like a baby. I could not believe that that thought that flew into my mind that day, just that morning, just sitting there reading my word and having a cup of coffee, that this is the end result.
Yes.
That,
you know, you are just a prime example of, following your dreams, your visions, inspirations, and, from the ideation, you had an idea and an inspiration, right?
Yes, an inspiration,
Yes.
which is one I enjoy doing that for other women. But when it actually was for me, it blew me away. I'm just going to say that. And I'm so thankful for all the people, you and all the other cheerleaders that you can do it. I'm so grateful to my advisory team. I'm grateful to those that gave any advice, any input. And I'm gonna say this. I didn't say this. Excuse me, girl. This was something that was given to me over 20 years ago by my mother. Did I ever tell you that part?
No, I did not know that.
So I wasn't even living in Ohio. I was living in Oklahoma. And one morning we were having a conversation and she said, wait a minute. She said, the Lord is telling me that one day you're going to be a Christian author. And I was like, really, Mom? I said, when? I said, when? She said, I don't know when. She said, but it's going to come to pass. And so not only do I have these two journals, I have 2 poetry books. And let me tell you a little bit about that. They should come out in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. That's work that I wrote, I want to say back in 2009. And it is still relevant today. And so when the thought came to me to go and dig up that work, I have one book. It's entitled, Unapologetically Phenomenal. And my next book is Latter Rain. And so Latter Rain comes out of my prayers. I would write poems out of my prayers. And Unapologetically Phenomenal comes out of my experience as an African-American woman. And so both of them are timely. One has totally to do. You can see how these two came out. And then the other one, when we're talking about the space and the climate we're in now, that is very encouraging to any woman, but especially women of color. And then I'm working on a self-help book, Curated Success. And I'm working on a weekly devotional for women because honestly, busy women, I remember I used to have 15 minutes a day when my children were small. Busy women don't have time all the time like I do now to have an hour every morning. So just to be able to help them to be able to curate that space with the help of a journal that you could take 15 minutes a day and ask God to bless that. Or you can take time if you got 30 minutes in a week and ask that to be blessed, and it will be. And so those are the other two things that I'm working on. And I've also opened myself up for speaking engagements outside of my local church. And when I did that, I said, girl, what have you done? You know, why did you do that? And so, so if you go out there, my website is curatedchristianjournals.com. And I'm so excited about that. I have Christian apparel and coffee mugs that I've designed.
Oh my gosh.
One idea that flew in my mind in the morning.
Yes. I just want to say you are unstoppable, Pamela, and just a beautiful example of following your heart's passion, following the inspiration, following your God's calling. You know, you really are a shining example of that. And I just want, you're an inspiration to me, and I'm just so proud of you. I want to say congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Your new curated Christian journals are available on Amazon. Is that correct?
That's correct. They're on Amazon. You can look up just Pamela Cone and they'll pop up, or you could put curated curated spiritual content or curated spiritual growth. Or you can go on my website, curatedchristianjournals.com, and you can see both of those, and you can see the Christian apparel.
Fantastic. So I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me tell all that.
Oh, it's just wonderful, Pamela. I know when you shared your vision with me over 6 months ago, I thought, oh my gosh, you are just so on track, and this is such a gift to the world. And I love, I mean, your passion just shines through. And I just want to say to all of our viewers, if there's something here that resonated with you, reach out to Pamela and visit her website and set yourself up for curated success. Whatever it is that you're called to do, it is possible. You know, put the right strategies in place, the support system, surround yourself. I always love to say, surround yourself with brilliance and people that will empower and inspire you to move beyond and just go for it. Take action, do it, tweak it along the way. And so thank you so much, Pamela, for sharing your curated spaces with us. And just wanted to say congratulations. You are amazing.
Thank you so much, Carol. You are amazing. I thank you for this space and this time. And you guys, you can find me on Facebook just as Pamela Cone, or Curated Christian Journals, or also Curated Conversations with Pamela Cone. So thank you so much. Thank you, Carol. Beautiful faces, going places.
All right. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.